The house that remembers. They say old houses hold stories within their walls, but Blackwood Manor held me. It cradled my grief, nurtured my guilt, and whispered secrets only a broken heart could understand. After Elena, after she was gone, I sought solace in its decaying embrace. A fool seeking peace in a place that had known only sorrow. The estate agent called it characterful. I called it a tomb. Each creaking floorboard was a sigh, each gust of wind through the shattered window pane, a lament. I wandered its silent rooms, each echoing the emptiness Elena had left behind. We were supposed to grow old here, Elena and I. We'd dreamt of filling these echoing halls with laughter, with children. Now only the ghosts of those dreams remained, swirling like dust motes in the fading light. The first time it happened, I dismissed it as grief-fueled hallucination. A trick of the light, a whisper of memory. In the grand ballroom, where we had once danced our first dance as husband and wife, I saw her. Just for a heartbeat. Elena, twirling in her favorite blue dress, her laughter a phantom echo in the stillness. But it wasn't a dream. It was the house. The house was remembering us. The garden, her sanctuary, became a stage for my nightmares. I'd see her there, amongst the roses she so loved, but twisted, broken. The vibrant colors of the blooms would bleed into a horrifying crimson. The air would grow heavy with the scent of decay. The house didn't just show me pretty memories. It delved into the cracks of my mind, the places I had tried to bury. A child's rocking horse, long gone, would sway in the nursery. My reflection in the antique mirrors would twist into a mask of guilt and fear. Whispers, faint at first, then growing louder, seemed to slither from the very plaster. I found her diary hidden away in the study. Her elegant script, once so full of life, now seemed to tremble on the yellowed pages. As I read, the room around me began to shift. The walls pulsed, the shadows danced, and Elena's words seemed to leap off the page, spoken in her soft voice. I feel it, Daniel. Something in the house. It watches. It knows. I try to tell you, but the words catch in my throat. A cold dread settles in my bones. The house was replaying her final days, not as they truly were, but through a lens of terror. Our bedroom, once a haven of love, became a suffocating space, the air thick with unspoken fear. I saw it then in the periphery. A shadow, always just out of sight, a silent observer in Elena's growing distress. I had dismissed her anxieties, attributing them to stress. My love had blinded me to her fear. The house forced me to relive that night. Not the sanitized version I had clung to, but the raw, ugly truth. I had been impatient, tired. I had dismissed her pleas, her growing terror. My last words to her were sharp, unkind, and then the fall. The sickening thud that echoed the shattering of my world. I saw it again, the way she crumpled, the life draining from her eyes, and the shadowy figure. It was closer now, a silent witness to my callousness. The house wasn't haunted by a ghost. It was haunted by my guilt, by the memories I had suppressed, the truth I had refused to see. Elena hadn't just died. Something had terrified her, and I, in my self-absorption, had failed to protect her. The shadow, it wasn't a separate entity. It was a manifestation of my own neglect, my own blindness. The house hadn't brought the horror. It had merely reflected the horror that already resided within me. But in facing the truth, in allowing the house to break me down, something shifted. The guilt, though still heavy, began to transform. It became a catalyst, a burning need for understanding. I returned to the bedroom, to the spot where she fell, and there, hidden beneath a loose floorboard, I found it. A silver locket, one I had given her years ago. It was open. Inside were 2 tiny pieces of paper. One held a symbol, crudely drawn, a symbol I had never seen before. The other held a name scrawled in Elena's frantic hand. Silas Thorne. The air in the room seemed to lighten, the oppressive weight easing. The house had shown me my guilt, but in doing so, it had also revealed a truth I had been blind to. Elena hadn't simply been afraid of the house. She had been afraid of someone. My grief for Elena would never vanish, but the suffocating blanket of guilt began to lift. The house that remembered had finally shown me what I had failed to see. Elena's death wasn't a tragic accident, it was something more. Blackwood Manor hadn't offered solace, but it had offered truth. And now, armed with that truth, with the memory of Elena etched not just in my heart, but in the very fabric of that haunted place, I would find out who Silas Thorne was. I owed her that much. The house that remembered had finally set me free.
The silent symphony of sorrow. It began with the music, you see, not a melody, not in the traditional sense. It was more of a resonance, a vibration that settled deep within the bones, a chilling counterpoint to the silence of the old house. They say silence is golden, but in that place, silence was the canvas upon which dread was painted. The house itself, it was a character, a presence, not malevolent, not precisely. More like a vessel overflowing with a sorrow so profound, so ancient, it had become sentient. The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of decay and forgotten tears. Each creak of the floorboards was a whispered lament, each rustle of unseen fabric, a sigh of mourning. I had come seeking refuge, a place to escape the cacophony of the world, the relentless reminders of loss. I thought the solitude would be a balm, a chance to piece myself back together. How wrong I was. The house didn't offer solitude. It offered a mirror, the music box. That was the key, I think. An exquisite piece of craftsmanship, yet tainted. Its gears, instead of producing a harmonious tune, seemed to grind out the echoes of past suffering. A child's laughter, abruptly cut short. A lover's desperate plea. The slow, agonizing tick-tock of a dying heartbeat. The shadows in that house were not mere absence of light. They were memories given form. They writhed and twisted, replaying scenes of heartbreak and despair. I saw glimpses, fragments of lives lived and lost within those walls. A bride left at the altar, her white dress stained with tears. A soldier returning from war, only to find his family gone. And the eyes. I saw the eyes. Not physical eyes, but impressions. They were everywhere, in the grain of the wood, in the patterns of the wallpaper, staring, accusing. Eyes filled with a grief so immense it threatened to drown me. They were the eyes of the house, the eyes of its sorrow. The whispering started subtly, a mere rustling at the edge of hearing, but it grew slowly, insidiously, until it filled the house, a chorus of lost voices, each telling its own tale of woe. They spoke of betrayal, of abandonment, of a love that turned to ashes. The house was a symphony of sorrow, a composition played out in silence and shadow. And I, a captive audience, was forced to listen. It wasn't a story of ghosts or demons, but something far more terrifying. The endless echo of human pain. There was no escape, no respite. The house held me in its mournful embrace until I began to understand. It wasn't trying to harm me. It was trying to share its burden. It was a confessional, and I, the unwilling priest. And in that sharing, something shifted. The weight of the house's sorrow didn't lessen, but it became bearable. I recognized my own grief within its echoes, my own pain reflected in its shadows. I was not alone in my suffering. The house didn't heal me, but it gave me a strange kind of solace. It showed me that sorrow, however deep, is a part of the tapestry of existence, that even in the darkest silence, there is a resonance of shared experience. And in the end, I left the house, not healed, but heard. I carried its silent symphony with me, a reminder that even in the deepest despair, there is a faint, echoing beauty, a beauty born of shared sorrow.